Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobra's Nest. For those who are here new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. So today's video is going to be a video request. So Dikshaya, longtime subscriber, has asked me, do I have any tips on how to save up for a property deposit? And I'm guessing like this means like a down payment. So she also asked, can it be like realistic and balanced? So I have 5 things that I'm going to be talking about today. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Whew. So I have my own deposit or down payment ready. But if you guys know anything about the Toronto market, at least at the current filming of this time, it is February 2023. It's just not a market that I feel comfortable getting into right now. I kind of want to see how this all plays out, and I'm in no rush. I think that's kind of the beauty of when you have the deposit ready. It's like you no longer feel pressured, but when you don't have the deposit, all you do is think about that. Just want to be transparent, let you guys know that I have not bought my own place, but I do have a deposit, so I feel like take that as you will. Maybe this advice could be entertaining or be useful in your own house saving journey. So yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so tip number 1, buy less clothes and buy less shoes. I mean, you guys know that currently I do buy more of that stuff right now, but that's just because I am in a different place financially. But for the past, 3 years, I have been very hardcore about not buying anything. The only new items that would come into my closet were PR packages. Other than that, I didn't buy myself anything new. I was really strict about that. And obviously, I want to be realistic and balanced with this. If you don't have shoes or if you don't have clothes, then yeah, maybe buy yourself a couple items. But I thought that I'd be transparent, and you guys know that I'm really aggressive when it comes towards my goals. Like, I don't half-ass anything that I do, and I don't know, maybe that tough love is something that somebody wants to hear or may need to hear. You have to be very clear on your goals, and for me, I was very clear on my goals. I was willing to sacrifice certain things for the things that I really wanted. A pair of shoes was not going to comfort me the same way that getting to my goals did, so I did everything in my power. I was really aggressive with my saving goals. But since the request is realistic and balanced, I don't know. Only you know your finances better than I do, right? If you feel like you have money to buy clothes and shoes and save for your deposit, then yeah, go for it. But this is just what I did. So I'm not going to lie about, oh yeah, I did both. I didn't. I made that executive decision as an adult. I knew what was most important to me. And if I had to make sacrifices now, I would do it. Because at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, like, what is the most important thing? And for myself, that season, that's what I was in. So I was like, no clothes, no shoes. And that was it. Okay, number 2, eat out less. So when Will and I had finished paying off our student loans, we were really aggressive about not eating out. Honestly, Will and I didn't start eating out till this year. So for the past 3 years, we have not eaten out, like barely. I think some of you have mentioned that we do eat out a lot now, and it's true, but we did what we had to do first. So that is something that I could recommend. Eat out less. I'm not saying never eat out. Obviously, that's not realistic and balanced, but I think eating at home can be very useful. Will and I, we would buy food from Walmart or No Frills or Shoppers, and we would just like eat at home and make the food at home. And we just did that for a couple years. And was it glamorous? Maybe no. But that wasn't important to me. That's not what I wanted. I really wanted to be in a position where, as I've always said, money creates options, and so I wanted to have those type of options available to me, so I was gonna make sacrifices. And honestly, it didn't feel like sacrifices, because when I used to live in a dorm room in China for like 5 years, we didn't even have a kitchen, so I feel like in my own place, I felt so excited and happy cooking all the time, because I remember I used to tell myself that I would be living my best life once I had a kitchen, because if you guys know, dorm rooms don't have kitchens. So I guess everything is relative and everything is perspective. I felt very bougie eating in, if that makes any sense, because I remember what it was like when I lived in the dorm room. I always had to go out to eat. Like, I was always eating out at restaurants, and I always had to order in food. So I know that sounds like, wow, what a problem that, but it's just to provide perspective that everything that's realistic and balanced is relative. For me, I felt like I was living my best life because I could have a kitchen and cook my own food, because I never could. I used to watch these cooking videos on YouTube and be like, oh my god, like that is the life. I would love to be able to cook, because I couldn't cook. If you guys have seen my videos, like I had this little cutting board and I used to cut vegetables over like the toilet sink. It was disgusting. So yeah, maybe play some mind tricks with yourself and tell yourself like you are living your best life because you have the privilege to eat at home. Okay, number 3, buying less house knickknacks and car knickknacks. So that's something else I think can be realistic, especially if you already are a minimalist. You don't have to buy house knickknacks. Your objects that you use on the daily are already enough decor. So you guys can see here, I installed a clothing rack, and that already adds a lot of functional decor. I get to move my clothes around and make it look a different type of aesthetic, and I always take pictures of it and put on my Instagram, and I feel good. I don't ever buy house decor. If you look at my walls, there's like no house decor, and obviously this is like a personal taste. If you like house decor and it makes you happy, go for it. But I just felt like for me, that just didn't seem like a good use of my money. Like for me personally, And that's actually a minimalism habit that I've actually kept, that I never let go of, that I had never let go of even when I stopped being a minimalist. I was like, I love this hack. Like, I don't have to decorate my walls. There's enough stuff in my room that will decorate the room. Like, I don't need house stuff. So the other thing is also like car knickknacks. Will's pretty big about this. Like, the car is his car and he doesn't buy any knickknacks for the car, and it makes the car look fresh, clean, and new because there's like nothing in it. It hasn't accumulated junk. So I feel like it's like a win-win. It looks clean, sharp, and good, and you save money and you're not buying car knickknacks and house knickknacks. Okay, number 4. This is a tip from Will. Will says drink less coffee. So I think, yeah, that's valid. Will and I didn't start drinking coffee like way later. Will and I literally did not start drinking coffee till our like 30s, which is like a really weird and interesting thing, I guess. I don't know, like fun fact, fun tip. We never drank coffee till we hit 30. So like, and Will's older than me by 3 years. I don't know, I guess it just, and our lifestyle just never called for it. We just like never, I don't know, it just never occurred to us to drink coffee. The first time we drank coffee was that in China, they offered like a buy one, get one free. So we would just buy the 1 cup and then I would get a free cup, or we'd split the cost of 1 coffee. And I guess from there we realized, hey, coffee tastes pretty good. And so we drink coffee now here in Canada. But yeah, honestly, I think we must have saved a lot of money never buying coffee. I don't know if that's realistic or balanced, given that a lot of people drink coffee, so take this as you will. This is Will's tip, not my tip. I mean, I drink coffee. You guys, like, we bought ourselves an espresso machine. I love the taste of coffee. I think it tastes really good. I like that bitter black taste. Yeah, if you want to save money, especially if you have a bougie taste, you know, Starbucks, it adds up, like $5 a coffee. Like it definitely adds up. So say you don't want to entirely cut coffee out of your like lifestyle, which I totally agree. Maybe make it at home. And if you want to get really aggressive, coffee is technically a non-essential, so you could technically cut it out of your budget. I know that some people, when they no longer drink coffee, like they go through hardcore withdrawals, headaches, vomiting, nausea. So if you are addicted to coffee, maybe this is not something I would recommend, but I just thought I would throw it out there because I asked Will, how can you save money for a house deposit? And he was like, just tell him to stop drinking coffee. Not even less coffee. Will's pretty extreme. He's more of an extreme minimalist than I am. He's like, just tell them no coffee. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So take that as you will. Maybe that is helpful advice for somebody out there. Okay, number 5, less expensive out activities with your friends. And there's actually a tip that Will also gave, because I had run out of tips by this point. For me, I already feel like you're already putting yourself ahead if you are not buying clothes and, you know, buying random crap for your house. But he was like, going out to like archery with your friends can be kind of expensive. Going to like those snake and ladder cafes can also be expensive. Eating out at restaurants with your friends can also be expensive. So he was like, why don't you like just have those activities at home, like somebody hosts it and everybody goes over, and I think it would probably be more affordable. And I would say that I agree. I remember that my biggest expense when I was in university was all the times I went out with my friends for like friend gatherings, and we would go to like cafes or like restaurants and stuff like that. I don't know how everyone's budget is, but when I was a broke student, that was definitely a big expense. So if you're trying to save up, I don't feel like you have to make massive sacrifices. I feel like you can still be realistic and balanced. Like, we're not saying, or at least I don't think he's saying, I don't think you have to not see your friends. That seems very unrealistic. But I think you can definitely let them know, hey, right now we're in a season of saving. Why don't you guys come over? We could have a potluck. I feel like most people would be understanding. I think most people understand in today's day and age, you have to make certain lifestyle changes to be able to afford, you know, a down. So I feel like that could be realistic. I really don't think your friends are going to come for you if you tell them, you know what, it's like, not that I don't want to see you, but instead of going to the restaurant, is it okay if you come over instead? Or maybe I'll go over. So yeah, take that as you will. I know everybody's friend situations are different, so cater this as you will to your own current situation. But yeah, and the last thing that I want to leave this on a like note is that like, you are just in a season of saving. You know, I'm not saying that you have to live your entire life for like years on end like this. I feel like that's just unrealistic. But I think that sometimes if we just see things as like a season, like you're only going to be doing this for like a few months, like a couple years, and then you'll be able to save and put, you know, towards your down. I think like that is something that would definitely help with your mentality. Like, I told myself like I wasn't going to be saving forever. I just told myself like, you're going to just save for a small period of time, and that made me feel a lot more motivated. I didn't feel like this was like a life sentence, so it made everything feel so much more manageable, just telling myself that like I'm just in a season of saving. And that definitely helped a lot with the mindset when it came to, you know, making the saving process realistic and balanced. So thank you so much to Dikshaya for the request. This was really fun to film, and I hope that this could have helped somebody else out, because the housing market, especially for these larger metropolitan cities, it's pretty big. So happy house saving, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.